Hi everybody, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all my patrons. My name's Neil, and it's time for the next episode of Lost. We finished the two-part premiere of Season 6, everybody, and LAX just blew everything up from what we knew. Let's talk about what's just sort of been revealed or confirmed in the two-part premiere. Jacob is dead. Juliet is dead. Sayid is back to life. Locke is not Locke. And there are two separate timelines. One in which our 1977ers during the incident were brought back to 2007 to rejoin our Locke and Sun and Ben and Frank timeline. And another where Flight 815 on September 22nd, 2004 made it safely to LA. Except that there's a couple of key little differences that weren't part of that original timeline, and it really has me wondering what's going on. Desmond all of a sudden is on Flight 815 and has a little conversation with Jack. It doesn't appear that Shannon's on the flight. It sounded like Boone went to Australia to bring his sister home, and it didn't work out. Now that could have just been because the actress playing Shannon wasn't available or chose not to participate. That's a thing. Happens all the time, so you have to tweak the story. But things are a little bit different. Desmond certainly wasn't on that flight. So all of a sudden now he is. What's changed? Has anything changed? Is this... Have there always been two timelines and we've just never visited this one until now? Is this part of the incident that there are two divergent realities? I just don't know, and I'm fascinated to I'm super curious to find out more. We finally went into the temple proper. Like, we've been down underneath the temple before when we revealed the smoke monster coming out, having its private conversation with Ben. I'd love to be able to put a name to the smoke monster because I'm pretty confident about my theory that the smoke monster is the other man that was having conversations with Jacob in the past when they were on the beach, when we saw the Black Rock approach the island for the first time. I don't know who he is or whether he's a dead body that the smoke monster seems to be able to mimic. I don't know if it's mimicking or reanimating, but we've seen this multiple times. We've seen it with Yemi, we've seen it with Christian, now we're seeing it with Locke. So who that guy is, time will tell, hopefully. But I just don't know where this season is going. Are we going to continue? I feel like we're going to continue with the new 2004 storyline. Like, we had all sorts of interesting setup, in the airport. Kate escaped. Jack and Locke met. Jack has offered Locke a surgical consult, maybe to remedy his paraplegia. Interesting things happening there. But very interesting things happening in the temple. We met these new characters. We saw how this pool that was presumably used to cure young Ben back in season 5. It was polluted, and yet it did still save Sayid. Maybe it was polluted because Jacob was killed. There's a lot more lore to learn here, but there's certainly some strong hints so far, so we can kind of speculate, but I want to know more. And man, I'm psyched to just jump into this and see what direction season 6, the final season of Lost, is heading in, because I just don't know. And Are both of these realities real, or is one of them, I don't know, is it a dream? Is it a collective hallucination? Is it something else? I love that I'm asking so many questions. I love this show in particular because it makes me ask so many questions all the time. I love the speculation. I love that I end up down the wrong rabbit hole so often. I love that eventually I come around in it and I can follow it, and it does make sense in the world that they've built for us. But yeah, let's just jump into this, guys. Let's have some fun. This is episode 3, and they're already having fun with us because this one is called What Kate Does, which is obviously a play on the earlier episode, What Kate Did, when we finally found out why she was on the run from the U.S. Marshal. I don't know if we're going back in time anymore. Are we having flashbacks anymore, or are we just sort of flashing between these two new realities, 2004 and 2007? I feel like that's enough, but who knows? Maybe we're going to continue to get a flashback or two throughout this season. Anyway, here we go, guys. Episode 3, Season 6 of Lost. Let's do it.
Previously on Lost.
You did this.
And Sawyer now hates Jack in 2007.
Jack?
What happened?
Saeed's basically Iraqi Jesus at this point, right? If Iraqi Jesus was like a complete badass and the most competent character on the show.
He's alive.
Hey, how you feeling?
Yeah, Miles didn't sense anything from him when he was dead, did he?
What happened to me? You died.
Dead is dead.
How is that even possible? I mean,
Dead
one minute
is
he's
dead.
gone and now he's fine.
It's an Iraqi torturer who shoots kids. He definitely deserves another go-around.
Yeah. Sawyer has turned. The vengeance.
What are you looking at?
Sawyer's such a character about vengeance. That letter fueled his own vengeance for so long.
What?
How many guards did you see? 5, 10, 100?
What are you thinking?
Thinking about running, Kate.
Kate's a runner. Always has been. And she's with Claire! Oh, right, of course.
Lady, I already have a customer.
Damn it, I said go!
What are you doing?
There's a guy. I'm not gonna run him over.
I'm walking here! Goes Hearts. Oh, I love it. Oh, what does Jack see? Okay, Kate's driving a cab. Handcuffed.
Give me your purse!
Nick, get out of the car.
Okay. I thought we'd see more Kate and Claire together, but interesting.
It's almost completely closed.
Crazy. It's a magic pool. A magic spring.
Thank you, Jack.
For what?
Saving my life.
It wasn't me.
Mr. Giroir, will you come with us, please? Nothing to worry about. We
I'm
just...
coming with him.
Who are you? Why are you holding us here?
Please, you don't have to do this. We won't hurt your friend.
He ain't my friend.
I'm walking out of here.
James.
I'm gone. You understand?
You have to stay.
No, I don't.
Yeah. It's the one place the smoke monster can't get, right?
Don't come after me.
Oh, it's just like Jax told her the exact same thing when they escaped Hydra. And Kate's not good at taking direction like that.
Your friend who just ran out of here, where did he go?
I don't know.
You really expect me to believe that?
Told me he wanted to kill me. You believe that?
I can bring him back.
Of course she can.
You sure you want to go out there alone with these people?
I'll go with her.
All right.
What makes you think he's gonna listen to you?
I can be very convincing when I want to be. Where's your tire hammer?
Tire hammer will just cut off your wrist.
You volunteering?
I got steady hands, but I kind of feel like we got off on the wrong foot.
Thanks.
So why the bracelets?
I'm wanted for murder.
Awfully cooperative mechanic. Oh, she's got Claire's luggage. That's why she couldn't. Didn't even know she was pregnant. Have we seen that before? I just love Orca because I'm from West Coast Canada. It's kind of like our local totem.
Be careful.
Oh, there was a will they won't they kiss moment there. But Jack knows he's kind of blown that.
What is it you want?
This isn't normal questioning. Oh, he's gonna electrocute him? Is this guy...
Just tell me what you want.
I mean, let's talk about it. This is torture. Or sure, yeah. Yeah, this is like Princess Bride electric torture. Or it's supposed to make us think it is, anyway. Yeah, no, it's absolutely...
Why are you doing this?
What the hell, are you gonna brand him now? Jeez, we're like breaking out all the torture classics.
I don't have any secrets. Ask.
What? What? I need Japanese subtitles.
It was a test. We had to be sure.
Test to be sure of what?
That he's not the smoke monster. Right?
You passed.
Yeah. Because they know the smoke monster can embody dead humans. And I guess you electrocute
I
and...
just lied to him, didn't I?
Yes.
She went back.
Relax, I didn't take your money.
Gee, thanks.
So where were you going?
Brentwood. Couple who's adopting my baby.
Are they a real couple?
They were meant to meet me at the airport, but I guess they got their days mixed up or something.
They are not real.
Brentwood's not far. Get in. Do you want a ride or not?
Not with the woman that just hijacked my cab. Ah, she's gonna find out the couple's not real.
Do you know anything about another plane coming in? A Nigeria flight?
I'm sorry, is this a press conference?
I think he means the one that landed.
Justin, shut up.
Yeah, it exists. That's all Jin needed to hear.
Looks like one of Russo's traps.
The French woman? She's been dead for years. This couldn't be one of...
Justin,
Dead for
shut up.
years. She died in
You
04.
don't even remember me, do you? 3 years ago, you staged yourself a little prison break by knocking the guard out with the butt of your rifle. That would be me.
Kate.
What are you doing?
Escaping.
She's joining Sawyer or just escaping? That's not what Jin wanted.
They tortured me. Why?
Because you're a torturer. You deserve it. I feel like a torturer can't complain about getting tortured. I feel like ultimately these two guys are fine, but they're certainly not acting
Shepard?
trustworthy right now. I like that they've got IKEA bookshelves too.
Your friend is sick.
Sick with what?
And the closest thing would be... infected.
Infected.
Yeah.
He's not even running a fever.
これをジャラーに飲ませてもらおう。
I heard Jirah in there.
He says you have to give your friend this pill.
This is your chance to redeem yourself.
Is the man of faith gonna make his appearance here?
It's medicine. And your friend needs it.
What happens if I don't give it to him?
The infection will spread.
Is he infected with the smoke monster?
You're not a zombie, right?
I am not a zombie.
It's, at least we crossed that option off.
They told me it was some sort of test, which they said I passed. Clearly I didn't.
It's medicine, according to them.
What about according to you?
He just doesn't
I
know.
don't know.
I only care about who I trust. So if you want me to take that pill, Jack, I'll do it.
So does Jack have faith in... Because he knows Saeed will trust him.
Where did it land?
We don't know,
I don't know.
Sun was on that plane too,
right?
and I have to find her.
You think they're gonna tell you? You think they care about you or about Sun or about any of us?
Who do you care about, kid?
Good luck, Jane.
Yeah. She's a runner.
Bet they're a really nice couple. What, you think they didn't come to the airport on purpose? Why would I think that?
Claire's got her own doubts.
Good.
Could you
Come
wait?
in with me?
Just some random?
Hi, Mrs. Bascom. I'm Claire Littleton.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm so sorry.
What? They're real.
My
She knows who...
husband, he left me,
Oh my god.
and I wanted a baby so much.
But
I can't do it alone.
She came all the way from Australia and you don't call?
Oh my God.
what, she's suddenly going to go into labor a month early? It's like a month earlier than she gave birth on the island. I mean, obviously the stress can do weird stuff, but there is some definite variance going on in that timeline. I'm surprised there was a real couple in LA at all, though. It makes me really question the whole fortune teller psychic. Like, I thought he just made up the couple to get Claire on the plane. And now there's a real couple. But they broke up in like the last 48 hours because Claire didn't have a lot of time to get on the plane in the first place. Oh? What's he digging up in the floorboards? Did he leave something in there back in the day? Juliet. They're like keepsakes. Man, Sawyer has evolved.
What the hell are you doing here?
I was worried about you.
We're gonna take you to the MCU to get looked at.
Are you with her?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yes.
Are you a doctor?
No way.
Dr. Goodspeed.
This
Can
makes...
I please get your help in here?
He's still a good... Everything's...
Miss Littleton?
This
Claire,
is
how you feeling?
so messed up.
Mother Nature's gotten a little ahead of herself.
Yeah.
Are you ready to have your baby?
If I want. So what, you mean you can stop it then?
Maybe. However, to do that would require a number of drugs. So they're perfectly safe. I just don't want to have to stick you with needles if I don't have to.
Wow, this is
It's
so
up to you.
opposite.
I'm not ready.
Okay.
Uh-oh. No.
What is it?
That's presumably the baby's
Just
heartbeat.
mean the baby's out of position.
Is Aaron okay?
Oh, she already knows the name.
See?
That triggered something with
Here he
Kate.
is. Everything is just fine. 140 BPM. Perfectly normal.
That's high. I guess I don't know anything about
Aaron
prenatal
is
physiology,
gonna be a
though.
handful. You did great, Mommy.
This is so weird. Like, obviously Ethan's not in LA in 2004. So this is like a completely alternate timeline. Everything changed on the island. But
You asked me why I came back to the island.
find Claire.
Maybe if we could find her and bring her back to Aaron, then maybe all of this wouldn't have been for nothing. I never should have followed you.
This is
time.
If I hadn't come after you on the sub, then you two would have left and
Yep.
she would have never died.
It's not your fault she's dead.
It's Jack's. He's found his blame.
It's mine.
Oh,
She was sitting right there.
ready to leave.
Door now. Trying to leave this place. I made her stay on this island because I didn't want to be alone. You understand that, right?
Damn it, Josh. When did you turn into such a frickin' amazing actor?
But I think some of us are meant to be alone.
Let's be alone together. And she would have said yes. Is he gonna throw this like Desmond throws his ring in the Thames?
You could probably make it back to the temple by nightfall.
What's he gonna do? But he doesn't want her there. Did Jack give Saeed the pill?
I have to remain separate from the people I'm in charge of.
Who are you?
My name is Dogen. I was brought here like everyone else.
What do you mean, brought here?
By the Dharma initiative or
You
someone?
know exactly what I mean. You didn't give your friend the pill, did you?
No, because I don't know what's in it.
I cannot explain.
Try.
He'll die if
He
you tell-
already died.
Explain.
What is in it?
The man of science is back.
You just have to trust me.
I don't trust myself. How am I supposed to trust you? Let's see where trust gets us.
No?
Now, are you gonna tell me?
Poison.
Yeah. So we wanted to kill Saeed. So Saeed is infected with the smoke. Presumably, but we didn't see that happen
Miss Littleton?
when he was surrounded the whole time.
And Detective Rasmussen. Is Miss Hart here?
I'm sorry, who?
Joan Hart. She signed in with you.
Joan Hart. Melissa Joan Hart.
Did she give you any indication where she was headed? Could it be something wrong? No?
Thanks. Sure.
Now Claire's just stuck paying an LA hospital bill.
Would you believe me if I said I was innocent?
Yeah, I would.
It's a lie, though. I did kill my father. I'm glad we got more Kate and Claire. This is fun.
It's a great name.
I don't know why I said it. It's like, I don't know, I knew it or something.
I think you should keep him.
Well,
Might have to.
luck.
Yeah. Me too.
I like that characters are finally looking a little sunburned and weathered. Feels like a choice they made for this season that they haven't made in the previous 5.
Why would you people want to kill Saeed?
We believe he has been
Claimed.
By the smoke
There
ones.
is a darkness growing in him. Everything your friend once was
Yeah.
will be gone.
So this is basically what happened to Rousseau's crew.
How can you be sure of that?
Because it happened
Because
to
it happened to your sister.
That's what happened to Claire. She was fine, but dopey when we last saw her on the island with Christian. Okay. We really haven't questioned too much what happened to Claire, have we? Oh.
It looks like he's alone. Maybe we should take him back.
Or maybe we didn't find him alive.
Aldo, no. We can't. He's one of them.
Oh, hey!
Oh, shit. Oh, frickin' bear trap. Oh. Oh. Who is it? Is it Claire?
Claire?
She's back! Ah! Awesome! Well, alright. So, almost secretly, this was a Claire episode. You thought it was a Kate episode. You thought maybe it was a Jack episode. But no, this was a Claire episode. And it's weird. We just kind of said goodbye to Kate back in season 4 when she wandered off from Sawyer and Miles. We saw her briefly again when Locke spoke to Christian in the cabin. But we've just kind of, even though we knew Kate was coming back to the island to find her, I can't say that I've invested a lot of thought into what really happened to her. Just because it hasn't been completely clear what's up with Christian. And yeah, now it seems, at least if we trust, I didn't fully get his name, but our Japanese guy in the temple, if he's correct that Saeed is infected like Rousseau's crew was infected back in '88, and Claire has also been claimed, then that's what's happened. That the smoke monster got to her and claimed her. Now I feel like this is different than the times where it feels more like the smoke monster is speaking through a human body, like a Christian or a Yemi or a Locke. This is something a little bit different, but this is another way the smoke monster manifests its presence on the island. It infects people, it claims people, and they become its soldiers. You know, if we trust what was it Robert who said it to Rousseau, that it's a security system for the island. And so it's building up a security force, and it can be that security force itself, but also it claims people that become part of that security system. So Claire's been surviving on the island for 3 years. Has she been with people? I mean, apparently she's sometimes with Christian, but we don't know if that, like, Christian's also been jumping through time. Christian was way back in time with Locke at the bottom of the well, giving him his final push to turn the wheel. And that was back when the statue was still fully standing, which was at least a couple hundred years. So Christian can move through time, but Claire obviously hasn't. But yeah, here she is. She's back. You know, sometimes you feel like a character's just being written out of a show. And sometimes they're not, which is really a nice surprise. It's... this 2004 that we are now in, this new timeline, I'm having a very hard time processing, because it is not the 2004 when the plane crashed. Obviously the plane survived. The plane landed in LA, but there are other things that are different, including Dr. Ethan Goodspeed working in LA. So this is I'm trying to figure out whether all these changes in this world we can attribute to the incident not happening. You know, Desmond showing up on the plane, Ethan living in Los Angeles, not having sort of left the DI, abandoning his father, because that's sort of the sense you get from the timeline we've known for the last 5 years, that, you know, Ethan turned on the DI and went to the others, probably because Ben turned him. But instead he seems like a well-adjusted, normal person who doesn't want to stick his patients with needles. It's so weird showing this alternate history, because, you know, we all remember the creepiness of, I'm trying to remember the name of the episode, but the one where we finally found out what happened to Claire when she was abducted, and we flash to Ethan doing all these crazy things, keeping her drugged up, talking about keeping the baby safe but sending Claire back, Claire's escape, all of that. And this is the alternate timeline. I'm glad they acknowledged that the baby was coming early. That would have bumped with me so hard if they didn't do that. But yeah. Kate found like the most cooperative mechanic in LA, and that was pure luck. Pure frickin' luck. I was trying to figure, like, that guy seemed very familiar, but I don't think we've seen him before on Lost, although maybe we have and I just didn't recognize him. Like, he feels familiar just from, you know, presence in TV shows in general, but But maybe it was a nod to something that I'm just completely forgetting. Maybe not. I don't know. And the other thing to process is the couple in LA was real. And if you had asked me last week whether, about things from the previous 5 seasons, I would have been sure that there was no couple in LA for Claire to go to. That the psychic just told Claire to fly on this plane in particular, so that because he had somehow forewarned knowledge of the plane crash in the island, and that would be how he prevented Claire from having Aaron be raised by another. But there is a couple in LA expecting Claire, and aside from the fact that they just recently separated and now no longer obviously want a baby, it was all real. Which just sort of clashes with what we knew about the psychic being so adamant about Claire keeping the baby. Unless, of course, he also saw that the couple was going to split, wouldn't take the baby, and Claire would ultimately decide to keep Aaron. If she went on that particular site. I mean, it could fit. It could fit. What else? Sawyer. Man, I mean, like, obviously he's dealing with the loss of Juliet. And I love how this show did such an amazing job of making that relationship so important and so believable, and this is obviously on the two actors as well, of selling that bond in a very short period of time. I buy that connection so much more than I buy Kate's connection to either Jack or Sawyer. And I think this is something I've said since the very beginning. I like Kate, but I don't like Kate and Jack or Kate and Sawyer. She's a character that needs to be on her own. When she tries to, which may be tragic, but that's part of being a character who's always been running. You run alone. You don't run as a team. So her, like, her trying to connect with someone and form a relationship is just antithetical to who she is at her core. But Sawyer's journey has been fascinating. Like, so much of his early storyline was just fueled by him needing, like, becoming the man that he hated, hating himself, but also seeking vengeance on this nearly mythological character, Sawyer, who destroyed his family and ruined his life. Finally, we got resolution to that during the Man from Tallahassee, and he got to actually meet Sawyer grown up, who happens to also be Locke's father, and he got to kill him. And I thought that would be a terrible moment, but it was actually a very cathartic moment for Sawyer. Like like he really changed when he took that burden off his shoulders. He needed to kill the man he named himself after. And he got to reinvent himself, and he wanted to play house with Kate, and then he met Juliet, and they did play house for 3 years. He didn't want to leave 77. That was the best his life had ever been. And I like that ultimately he doesn't blame Jack, and he didn't blame Kate. He blamed himself. And maybe, I mean, yes, what he said, he did talk Juliet into staying. But it wasn't purely greedy. Like, Juliet clearly loved Sawyer too. Like, that was not a one-way relationship. Juliet did not feel trapped. She was as happy as Sawyer until, of course, Jack and Kate and Hurley showed up. And everything went to shit. But I like that Sawyer at least is acknowledging his own responsibility, and he's not just sort of directing that hate elsewhere. So he's processing, he's grieving. These are the stages of grief. and he's approaching acceptance, which is good to see. I think Sawyer's had a fascinating character arc over these 6 seasons, and Josh Holloway's done such an awesome job. I remember back in the day, although I didn't know much about the show in particular, you're aware of the show, and I knew enough that I knew that Josh Holloway he wasn't an actor. He was like a model. Wasn't he like a jeans model or something when he got cast in Lost? And you hear that and you go, oh, a pretty boy model hired onto a show. You're not expecting amazing acting chops. And yet, he's put in some of the most amazing performances on this show. It's really, it's very rewarding and surprising. And my hat's off to him. He's excellent. You buy his grief 100%, and I appreciate him needing to be alone and rejecting Kate, because that would be the easy thing to do. Almost is just sort of rebound into another woman's arms, especially a woman that you've got a history with, but Sawyer's definitely evolved. Good for him, even if it is painful for Kate to hear. But now Sawyer and Kate and Jin are all loose. Jin is obviously looking for Ajira 316 and Sun, who we didn't see at all this episode. We didn't see any of the 316 storyline this episode. And we're left with that reveal of Claire, who looks like she's been living off the land for the last 3 years, but she's alive. So the others wanted to kill Sayid. Presumably they would want to kill Claire too. They want to kill anybody who's been claimed. So that puts Jin in a challenging spot. But maybe he thinks Claire can help him find Sun. I didn't remember Aldo either, just as a complete aside. Kate knocked him out the first time 3 years ago, because he must have been the other guy in the cage. That's what that was? I just didn't put 2 and 2 together when she and Sawyer escaped from Hydra. That's great. I love that they do these little callbacks. Give the guy another episode a few years later. Well, let me tell you, as an actor, that kind of stuff would be huge. You get called in to be what's called a day player, not an extra. Here's a little behind the scenes, just so you guys know what terms to use. An extra is the same as a background performer. You are hired to be in a scene, but you're not going to have any specific action, and you're not going to have any dialogue. You are there to populate a scene. So you're, you're part of the crowd on a street, or you're somebody at a table in the background during a restaurant, or anything like that. But as soon as you specifically are written into the script, even if you don't have a line necessarily, but you're important enough that you interact with one of the cast, then you are hired as a, quote, actor. And that's a specific job category. And you are no longer an extra. You're no longer a background performer. You are an actor. And you are paid at a completely different rate, a much better rate. And as soon as you have, and I don't know what the rules are in Los Angeles or in Hawaii, but in Vancouver, basically once you get 4 lines, you are no longer just being paid as an actor. You are paid as a I can't even remember the term right now because it's been a while since I had to do this paperwork. But now you are a featured actor, and you get your base rate goes up again. So getting a couple of lines is a big day. Even if you're a full-time working actor, If you get 25 or 30 days of work a year, it was a solid year. It was a solid year. But you're probably just brought in for a day, so you're what's called a day player. They don't need you for the entire episode. Maybe if you're a more prominent guest starring role, you get 2 or 3 or 4 days of work that episode, and that's a big gig in your year of work. But for a show to go, remember that guy from like season 3? Let's bring him back. We liked him, and we could have some fun with that. So let's bring him back. Like, he didn't have to be a familiar face. That could have gone to an entirely new performer. But it's like, no, let's bring Aldo back. And the guy who played Aldo back in Run, Kate, Run gets to reprise a role and have a few more lines. And, that's really respectful on the part of the show. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's how you know that there's some really thoughtful writing, and it's a well-run business, well-run production. I appreciate that. Little things like that. Anyhow, I get to watch another episode today. I hope you guys will join me, and until it comes out, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.